girls who love hoops and love to chat. Parasocial, yeah, we're owning that. Crash out energy, hot takes on deck. Welcome to the podcast. Who knows what will happen next?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Courtside Banter. I am Leandria.
And I'm Liz.
And we're so excited to talk to y'all today. So we're going to open it up talking about the Sparks versus New York Liberty 30th anniversary game. Mm-hmm. So 30 years ago today, the first game ever was played for the WNBA. And it just so happened to be the Sparks versus the Liberty. And they recreated a lot of the things from that game. And they finally won, y'all. We'll get to it, but I probably would have cried if they didn't. But yeah, so what are your recollections from the game? And if you haven't already, you should check out our TikTok and see Liz's, she made a really cute, recap TikTok.
Yes. I mean, it was just a lot of fun. I think it was really special. I know our friend Marina texted us being like, why am I crying? Because she was there too. Mm-hmm. Because it really was. It was just it was really special for them to kind of like what Nneka said at the end, just take that moment to also recognize all the women that built the foundation for us to have a WNBA. What Nneka said, everything she said, right? Nneka's just so articulate. They really paved the way. They weren't getting paid their worth, and they still stuck with it. And, so that they're able to be where they're at today and being paid a lot more and closer to what they're worth. And, the success that's really been built off of the backs of these women, and just getting to see them all there and thriving and being acknowledged for, it's not easy to put your body on the line the way that they did for as little money as they did, right? And so it was really special, and to see we're 30 years later, we're thriving, and I actually started watching. I watched this. I didn't tell you about this, and you need to watch it if you have Peacock. But there is a thing on Peacock called it's a show called The Rise, and they have different episodes. And this episode was Moneyball, and it really talked about the WNBA. Really followed a lot of Fee and Unrivaled, and just women's sports being a good investment. And it was really fascinating to watch. All the things that they've done and all the things that people have said about women's sports in a negative way to get us here. So it was really cool, and you should watch it if you haven't, by the way.
I'll see if I can get somebody's Peacock login. I think what struck me about the 30th anniversary game is they did all of these things, right? So they did a ceremonial tip-off between Lisa Leslie and the player, whoever the player was on the New York Liberty. I'll look up her name. I feel like I watched these back and I'm like, that's wrong. So I'm gonna start looking things up. They did, during halftime, they had all of the players come and kind of stand. They had players not just from the inaugural season, but just, players that were instrumental in the Sparks that were still around come and be honored. They had the first coach of the Sparks. Last name was Cooper, because everybody was like, Coop, when he came out. Michael? Again, I'm trying not to say wrong things, but I remember when I saw him.
By the way, I just looked.
Huh? Say it again.
Kim Hampton.
So they had Kim Hampton and Lisa Leslie do the ceremonial tip off. I remember when I saw Michael Cooper, though. I was telling Liz oh, that's the guy who's the first coach of the Sparks. And I remember it because he was in another documentary, because he was an MNBA player, of course. He was in another documentary kind of talking about how it was important for him for the women to be taken seriously. And, what he said was it was Like, I wanted them to be able to go back into the locker room and, like, put themselves together before they went out and did the press conference, which, you know, I think the intention was good. I think now it's like, well, you don't have to put makeup on to go talk to people, but whatever. I just, all of those things were really special, and I think it was really cool too. So the people who were inaugural season ticket holders, they got these really cool, like, purple and white varsity jackets, and they had different clips of people that were inaugural season holders just talking about their experience at the first game. And one of the things that the lady talked about is like, oh, I remember when they came out, they had a special ball, you know, they had an orange and white ball, and that's like something that I just never noticed, right? Like, you know, in school you play with a basketball, it was probably orange because the school just bought a bunch of orange basketballs, but that it was special. The ball, I think, is a little bit smaller in the WNBA, and that was something that was really important to her. Or the fact that, and they do this to this day, the players hand off their ball to a younger girl, and that just being symbolic. And, you know, they have different girl basketball teams come out and they'll get the balls from the different players. But again, like, I'm trying to think, I haven't been to an MNBA game since Kobe played, so that has been a really long time ago. But I don't know if they do the ball handoff to younger boys or if it's just whoever. But all of those things being really special, and those being things that, like, I didn't necessarily know were intentional, or, you know, like, it's just things that you don't think about. So I think it was really cool. My full court take, though, is that the refs were cheating. And like, to the point where it's like, I think what's interesting too is, like, the refs will make a call, we'll all be like, what, right? And regardless of if the coach wants to replay it or not, or if the ref wants to go see it on tape, like, the guys that sit right in front of us are the guys who do the video, and they're shady. They'll always re-show it, and we're always like, she didn't touch her, she just had her hands up, right? But it was crazy. Like, there was a possession where New York had the ball out, they threw it in. I think Satu.
Are you talking about that one?
Yeah, Satu had last touch on it. Like, Ariel Atkins got in front of her, or whatever the case is. You can see the ball touch her hand and then, you know, go out of bounds. But they were like, oh no, it's New York's ball. So it was even that much more special when NECA did make that three, and they won, because the refs were definitely not in their favor. I feel like.
I've said this in past podcasts, I always feel like, for whatever reason, Los Angeles teams do not get home court advantage with refs, because even at Angel City games, I constantly am just like, why do the refs hate us? Like, and we have, like, arguably the nicest, best Sparks team ever, you know, like, no one, I mean, maybe Kelsey is crashing out on refs, but, like, NECA's not crashing out on refs. Dearica's not crashing out on refs. Like, you know, so did I say NECA? NECA's not crashing out. Like, yeah. I feel like, why do they hate us so much? Like, I don't get it.
I have no idea. And I would argue that, like, Kelsey Plum is only going to say something when something is egregious. Like, she had a little bit of a crash out moment with the ref, but, like, honestly, the girl looks like she's dry humping her from the back.
She is.
And there's no call. There's just, like, no call at all.
It is a call, but it's a foul on Kelsey.
On Kelsey Plum, yeah.
Against Phoebish. And I was like, Phoebish is literally dry humping her, staring her down. Kelsey has her back to her, and she's walking towards the ref, and you guys are calling a foul on Kelsey? Like, I don't get it. There's so, like, in general, across the board, and I don't want to, like, be that person that just talks about how bad the ref officiating is all the time. You know what I mean? Because, like, ultimately, something that because I used to coach soccer, right? And something that I would always tell the kids, oh my gosh. Did you hear that? Yeah, it came up on my phone randomly. Something I used to tell the kids is, like, you can't leave it up to the refs. Like, if the refs have that much control over the game, then, like, we didn't play a good enough game, right? Mm-hmm. But I think that it's a little bit different in basketball, because, like, I sometimes feel like you have to stop the game every single moment, and, like, it's so hard, especially if you're a team that thrives off of the pace of the game that you play on. It's so hard to keep that when the refs are just always getting involved. Like, and like, I do think that there needs to be a focus on freedom of movement. I think sometimes they're too handsy, and so I guess maybe this is just something that we asked for, and now they're just like way too involved. But there's even times where, like, to go back to what you were saying about the Satu, they showed it and I recorded it, and to me it is very clear that she touches the ball, and it comes back that she didn't touch the ball, and I was just like, I really don't understand how we saw the same thing and we're seeing two very different outcomes. Like, so I don't know. I'm just never going to understand being a ref. I never want to be a ref. When, we work in schools, and sometimes when we would do like events and stuff, they would be like, oh, Liz, like, you played and coached soccer, like, be the ref of this, like, middle school soccer game. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. I one time I was yelling at a student and I missed like a goal, and the kids were like, it was a handball, and I wasn't even looking in that direction. And ever since then, because it was life or death for them to get this call, and I was like, ever since then I was like, I'm never reffing a game again. So what they do is hard, but I also don't understand a lot of their calls. Exactly.
There's 3 of them. There were one of you. So I was talking to my godmother about this, because when NECA got that shot, she texted me like, "Are you at the game?" And I was like, "Yeah." And we were just talking about basketball, and I told her, I was like, "I feel like the refs cheat," and she's like, her perception is like they're inexperienced and they just don't know what they're doing. And I'm like, maybe, but I mean, for like, we've seen these people at least for 2 years. One would imagine that you'd get a little bit better at your job, even if this is the second year that you're doing it. And I would also imagine that, like, to be a ref of a professional league, you would have had to have done some other levels before.
I think a lot of them are college refs.
Yeah.
Like, I think they coach in the college games. So, like, this is their job. Like, it's not like in the NFL, where I hear that a lot of times the refs in the NFL are like lawyers, or, and they're just like doing this like as a side gig. I think that these refs, this is like their full-time job. Like, all year round, they're reffing games, I think. I don't get it.
Even if this is just your side gig, like, your experience is going to make, like, even if this isn't your main job, like, your experience is going to make you better at it. But yeah, I was watching my friend made me watch the last 7 minutes of the Knicks Spurs game, and we're watching the whole thing, and there were like 2 times where he was like, the ref should have called that, or the ref should have called that. And I agree, but I feel like if we're watching the last 7 minutes of like the Mercury play the Aces, there's going to be more than 2 times where it's like, were you looking? Can you see? And there are 3 of you. So I don't understand. I also don't like the idea of, like, I feel like it's an excuse to say like, oh, they just don't know what they're doing. It's like, well, then figure it out, because you're getting paid money, I'm sure, to do this. Might not be a lot of money, but you're getting paid to do it. And that logic, teachers don't get paid a lot of money, but they try their damnedest to make sure your kids know how to read. So you need to do the job that you're being paid for. Like, I just don't understand. And maybe we need to go, because I don't feel like when we go to Aces games, I don't feel like the refs are like going one way or another. If anything, I feel like they just kind of let them play. But yeah, the refs have been a consistent thorn in my side. And I think it just so happened that we were able to, rise against it. But like, had we gotten that possession, maybe we would have won by more than 1 point,
Yeah. Or not need, I mean, thankfully, it's NECA. And if you're going to put the ball in the last second for a buzzer beater game, it's going to be NECA or Kelsey. And I feel like they were so focused on Kelsey, which is weird to me because Kelsey didn't have that good of a game, but whatever. I don't care. I'm glad that they did.
I mean, they did put it in Kelsey's, they did give it to KP, and she did put it up for a 3 and she missed it right before NECA's 3. So I feel like the play. Yes.
Erica Wheeler brought the ball up. Erica Wheeler's the one that passed it to NECA.
Yes, but remember, like, NECA had like 9.9 seconds left. Before that, when the possession that the Sparks had the ball before that, when there was like 20 seconds left. Yeah. they gave
Okay.
it to KP. And you know, in other games, KP has been the person to make the clutch three. She didn't necessarily make it that time. And it was looking a little, and my thing too was like, oh God, I don't want to go into overtime. Like, those games, I don't know when you're, like, I like being there and I like being in the game, but like, it's Sunday, the game started at 5, we did all this ceremonial stuff, so it's going a little bit long. It's like, I want to go home. I got to go to work in the morning.
I
But
didn't.
yes.
So I was fine. But I still didn't want overtime because I came from the mountains.
Overtime, yeah.
Like, I literally was in the mountains in the morning at Lake Arrowhead and then came down the mountain, took a shower, got ready for this game, went to the
Yeah.
game. So I was tired. But I don't want overtime in general. Like,
Yeah,
if we can
it's not
close it
fun.
out. The only time I want overtime is when we
We're
lose.
losing.
But in that case, I'm glad, you know. Sucks for the Liberty, good for us. Liberty's doing
They won 30 years ago, so I feel like we're even, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody needs to feel sorry about the New York Liberty. I think they're good. They got it.
They're fine, yeah.
And shout
I
out
also-
to 18 Atier, I think was her name, or Astie. She was really good. She was a rookie. You told me?
Oh, yeah. Pauline.
Let's see.
something.
We're going to look it
I'll
up.
look it up.
She was really good. She was on fire too. Like, I don't think she put anything up that missed. She didn't miss any free throws.
Pauline's
She didn't
her
miss
first
anything.
name.
Pauline
Astier?
Astie. They were saying it like Astie.
Astier.
Number 18 on the
She's
Liberty.
French.
Potentially.
No, she is. It says she's a French professional basketball player. Plays for
Oh,
New
okay.
York.
And it's her rookie year. Awesome possum. She was
Yeah.
born in
I knew she was
2002.
rookie.
Isn't that crazy? Life is grand. 2002.
I know. We're old.
But yeah, shout out to her. She did a really good job. Brianna Stewart was on fire. I feel like Sabrina didn't play as much.
Sabrina hasn't been playing that well.
Is she hurt
She was hurt, and she's coming back from injury.
from hurt? Okay.
And she, just hasn't found her stride yet. I mean, there's
She
certain
wasn't
players
bad
that-
when she played. I guess I was just surprised she wasn't in as much as, like, Stewie was in the whole dang game almost, you know?
I mean, I don't know how many points did she score. There was a point where I feel like she didn't score that much. Liberty versus.
I don't remember her putting shots up and missing them, so maybe she only attempted a few, but she was also not out there for very long.
I'm gonna look up her box score right now.
Yeah. And then Satu Sabali, like,
Maybe.
I was telling Liz, I was like, oh, Satu, like, dyed her hair, and she's like, yeah, girl, you're late. But again, it's my first time seeing the Liberty because I don't watch it on TV. But it was cool to
She
see
played
her.
22 minutes. She only had 2 points though.
Yeah.
So she played.
That's what I'm
she
saying.
played
I don't remember her
22
putting it
minutes,
up
2
that many
points.
times.
She was 1 for 3 from the field goals. That would have been her only 2 points. 0 for 1 from 3-pointers. She didn't get any free throws. 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 offensive rebounds, 1 defensive rebound. So yeah, I mean, it was a quiet game for her. I think her and Pauline are like splitting time right now until she can come. She's getting
Pauline
back
was
to
out there,
herself.
though. Pauline was on
Pauline
fire.
was out there for 21 minutes, yeah. So
Yeah.
with a 40-minute game, they literally kind
They
of split
split it.
time a little bit.
Yeah. I imagine, too, like, when Fee comes back, it might feel a little bit like that just because she hasn't played basketball in so long.
Yeah.
She's been,
Yeah.
injured for so long. But yeah, anything else you want to say about the 30th anniversary game? Shout out to Warren G, who was out there dancing very tentatively. Apparently, he is going to perform in Long Beach, but I'm like, I hope he makes it. 'Cause
Yeah.
he was very...
Yeah.
Maybe
He was
they
all,
should've
I got
gotten
the
him a stool.
dancers. I'm just going to walk.
Yeah, he said, I'm just going to walk. But it was
Yeah.
almost, the walking was like, let me not fall. So,
Yeah.
But shout out to Warren G.
Hey, maybe
Gotta
he had a couple
regulate.
drinks. The game was kind of crazy.
The game
he was
was
enjoying
crazy.
himself.
Hey.
He didn't perform until after the third.
Yeah,
so.
between the third and the fourth. So
Yeah,
he got a little lit.
Yeah, maybe that's why he was so concerned. Yeah, no, I don't really have much to say. I think it was poetic justice. I think not poetic justice, but I love that Nneka was the one that made the 3 at the end. She also was number 30 for the 30-year anniversary, which was really cool. Brianna Stewart's also 30, which I thought like, oh, cool. The best 2 players on the court are both 30. That's cool. The crowd was
Ziegler.
crazy.
The
Oh
crowd
yeah,
was crazy. Ziegler got like a big. She might have only had 4 points, but one of the field goals that she made, like she got hit on the pushed down to the floor, so she got the and one, and she was
Yeah.
just like down on the floor screaming. So I'm glad that she was able to play. It was the first time that Kiana Williams played, and yeah,
She
we'll
only
see.
played 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think Coach Roberts probably would have put her out there for longer, but she wasn't doing great.
No.
So it's like, okay, you have to sit down. But I'm sure that KP was on minute restriction. KP also didn't play a lot of the fourth quarter
Caitlin
because
played 36 minutes.
that's wild. Because like I feel like for the last, but she had to get her knee wrapped up. So I feel like for as long as that woman was wrapping her knee, those were the
Yeah,
minutes
that's
that
when
she didn't play.
that was when she was out. Yeah.
That was crazy. I didn't think she played that many minutes. Felt like there were 2 points in the game where she sat down, but I guess it was just when Kiana Williams was up.
Yeah. Yeah. 39 minutes, 36 minutes. She played the most minutes out of anybody. Ironically enough. How do you feel? Look, I know you don't know who Kiana Williams is, and I don't know much about her either. But how do you feel about that signing, and then also the knowing that Cam Brink is hurt and is going to be out for a while, and
got rid
Lynn
of
Roberts
Sanaya
said,
Fagan.
and they got rid of a big. They got rid of Sanaya
Even though your
Fagan.
big is hurt.
Correct, and we have two
Hella point. We got guards.
I feel like we have,
Galore.
and then she was like, "We need another point guard." I'm like, "Isn't that what Chance Gray is?" I know Tanaya is not because Tanaya is a shooting guard, but she's still a guard. And I know it's different.
And I feel
but
like
still.
JP is also like, I feel like sometimes JP will sub in for
Yeah,
KP.
she's also a guard.
So I don't know. Me personally, now granted, my knowledge of basketball is limited, but like I would have signed Kate Martin. I think it's interesting to take someone else's development player. I also think it was interesting that Kate Martin wasn't even suited up at all. Like she wasn't activated for this game, but she's probably coming up on.
Yeah, I think
She's
she's
probably
at
going to
9.
play
She
all
gets
her
12.
games. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if she's hurt though, because even on the bench, she was just kind of sitting there.
She did get hurt in the last game.
Oh, okay,
But
so maybe
she
that's
wasn't
why.
on. But she wasn't on the injury report. But I don't. Maybe she doesn't need to be on the injury report
Because she's,
if
like-
she's a development player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because technically, if she doesn't play that game, she'll be listed as out anyway.
Yeah. But they would have needed, like, Ziegler was the right call because Cam's out. So, you need a big, and then you just waived a big. So, like, I'm looking at our roster, right, from that
We have
night.
guards galore.
Okay, so we have NECA, Dearica, Ziegler, and Cannon. We have 4 bigs. And then we have Wheeler, Plum, Ariel, JP, Kiana. They probably play Ray as a big, so I'll move her. So
Ray
we have
is a little
5
more
bigs.
versatile.
Tanaya and Chance. So we have 7.
I mean,
So
technically,
don't understand
Dearica Hamby is a big.
That's what I said. Dearica
Okay.
for the first time. Yeah. So we have like 5 and 7 maybe, right? But I don't know. It's just a weird. It was just a weird
But it's
signing
like-
for me. I don't
Yes,
understand it.
it was weird. And I also think, like, yes, we might have 5 bigs, but we don't play. Like, we very rarely play Emma Cannon. We very, very rarely play. Who else did you say?
Well, Emma Cannon's the one that. Well, we didn't play Sanaya, right? So there's only 3 people who didn't play last night, or
It
whatever
was Chance, Tanaya, and Emma Cannon, right?
Yeah, and Emma Cannon played well the last game too, so she could have played. I do think it's weird that they played Ziegler over Cannon, but I'm not mad about it because those minutes were good.
No.
But
And I think
I'm confused. I guess I'm just
I am.
confused.
I am confused as well.
Because if you don't think we have good guards, then why are these rookies on our team?
But we do have good guards. I would argue that we have a surplus of guards, and they are good.
No,
I
that's what
mean,
I'm saying.
yeah.
She's the one that's saying that we don't have. I think what Lynn Roberts said with the Kiana Williams signing was that they just didn't have anybody that was like good or experienced enough at the point guard. So maybe all of these people are shooting guards and they're just pigeonholed into this one position. But then why do we have a surplus of them?
I don't know. And I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. This was her first game. She was a developmental player on the other team. She probably didn't play that much because I feel like the Sparks is really the only team that's like playing their developmental players
They really
like that.
are, yeah.
Like everybody else is kind of like once Haley Van Lith became a development player, like she doesn't even suit up anymore, right? So that was me mentioning the Connecticut Sun. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna give her grace. I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt, but it was weird to me, and I feel like she probably would have played for longer if she had done better. But she was doing kind of bad.
Yeah.
She was like,
I guess for me, it's just like, if you don't think that these players are good enough to take over when KP is out, right? And KP is hurt, and she's playing 36 minutes, which is insane. You know what I mean?
I'm surprised she wasn't on minute restriction.
Correct, for a person
Because this is her first
hurt.
game back.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes, she played a game and then was out a game, and then she played this game. So like, you know, then sign these players at the beginning to a developmental contract, and sign, I don't know, Kate and Ziegler. Then I guess, like, I don't know. The whole thing is just strange to me. But you know, I don't know. I'm not saying that Kiana Williams isn't good. I'm gonna be honest. I've really seen her play, so I don't know. You know, so take that for what it's worth. I think she's been in the league for a while. Let me see if I can click her name.
This is her 4th year. She was a guard for the Seattle Storm, and she played at Stanford.
Yeah. So, you know, if it's her 4th year, I wonder if she played with Cam at Stanford. But anyways, you know, I just think it's a strange.
It was a strange thing to do, and I also.
It maybe wouldn't have been strange if she didn't say all that, but it's
Yeah.
like, don't say you don't have guards when you have a surplus of them, because then that makes
I
me
would
wonder how
argue,
you feel about our guards.
I would argue like the only guard that kind of wasn't producing was Tanaya Latson, and then in her last game she kind of came to her stride. So yeah, it's you have a lot of guards, and it's not like your guards are not producing. But you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna let that woman do what she wants to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our full court take. Shout out to the Sparks. You can see in the video that Liz posted, I was like screaming like they won and I was here. It's not me. I'm not the jinx.
It's not.
And I was really excited. But yeah, let's move on into our parasocially speaking segment of the show.
Okay. We got updates.
We have updates, y'all.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you take this one away, friend.
I know, because I didn't show you the video, so I realized. So, you know, we're going to talk about my favorite topic, which is, are they or aren't they dating WNBA edition? And going back to our favorite two, Sab and Emily. So I feel like we haven't gotten much ever since she wore the jersey. And then after she wore the jersey, as Bryn
she's worn
said,
everyone's jersey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bryn and Lizzie, because we got to shout them out every podcast. But like Bryn said in the comments of YouTube, she wears everyone's jersey. This is a thing she does. And I'm like, okay, maybe. But she did choose to wear Emily's first, I believe. So just saying. But they had a game. And I will add the video maybe here. Giving us a pause so that I can add the video in when I edit this. But in the video, I'll describe it, and then I'll play it for everyone except for you, because you can't see
I can't
right
see
now.
it.
Yeah. So in the video, it is like, I think I've seen this film before, where Emily comes from behind and like picks up Sab from the floor, but it's just very extra handsy, maybe, shall you say?
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yes, the way that we've seen this before with I think I sent it to you, with Dejanay and Melissa.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was just a cute video, and I was like, oh, yes. And I got this a while ago, and then we haven't talked about it yet. And then there were two just today, and I was like, perfect, like right before we came on. Breaking news. And let me see. I can add this so you can see it. Emily Engstler posted just like she went to a wedding, right? And then Sarah Ashlee Barker wrote, "My goodness," with the whoo little emoji. And then also this one was just like she commented twice, and it was just like, "That suit is perfection," and you can see the comment better here. Like, my goodness, woo. So I don't know. I know I would maybe say that with any of my friends too, truthfully, like that could totally be like a friendly thing.
Yeah.
But with the, I don't know. I just want it. I
think you want it.
I want it for them. I don't know why. I the last time I checked, Sab was straight and she
had a boyfriend.
Right? Yeah. But yeah. What do you think?
I think that I think that's a thing that I feel like women are very like complimentary of their friends. Yeah. And I also think like because there's this like will they won't they situation, she could just be trolling us. Like she could be like putting a 20 on a 10.
In the very first podcast.
We did indeed.
You can troll too close to the sun.
You can, yeah.
And it becomes a real thing.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think this is inconclusive. When she wore the jersey, I was a little more leaning towards, well, maybe it's something. And then she proceeded to just wear everyone's jersey, which I think is like a cool way to, it probably is a little nerve-wracking to think about what you're going to wear every game and like know you're going to be like photographed and recorded and all that stuff. So if you just go in with a theme, like I'm just going to wear people's college jersey, my coaches, my teammates, like whatever. Like, it just makes it a lot easier. But, yeah. So, she's worn everybody's jersey. She picked her up that one time. Yeah. I don't know. And it could also be that, like, Engstler likes her and it's platonic on Sobs end. Like, we don't know.
Well, anyone that's listening to this, and let's see... when we get clips for our TikTok, I just use an app, so I'm not making. So whatever they clip is what I got. But what do you guys think? Anybody that's listening to this, are they dating? Yes. Or
are they on the road? Is this gonna be a Serena situation, or are we putting a 20 on a 10? Are we seeing things that aren't there? You tell us in the comments.
Yeah.
And thank you to all the people who comment on our videos. We posted a clip and people started fighting. And I was like, we made it. We got our first troll and we got our first like confrontation in the comments.
We might have gotten a second troll. I couldn't tell. Someone had written, LOL, this is hilarious, very interesting. And I was like, I don't know what that means necessarily.
I'm going to assume best intentions because we are hilarious and we are very interesting. So
I think so too.
But Hawaii 8808, shout out to you for being a troll and having no identifying information other than like a Mickey on your page and thinking that you had the nerve, audacity, and gall to come to our podcast and talk a little bit of shit. I hope that you're sleeping really well at night. I hope you feel good about your decisions and what you do when you get on your phone. Shout out to you.
Shout out to you. That was the thing that I was like nervous about the most when we started doing this. And like even with the TikTok stuff, I was like, I'm not great when people are mean to me.
You don't worry. You don't worry about it, friend. I will be mean back.
No, but like honestly, really, I mean, maybe it's because no one's been like super mean yet.
Yeah, no one said anything about us specifically.
No, they just don't like our takes, and that's okay. That's allowed. You know,
they're hot takes for a reason.
I know, and I think that like we have said from the beginning, like we're not really the X's and O's, you know, like we're both pretty new to it. We really wanted to, it was funny because I think we went in being like, oh, we're going to really focus on like the parasocially speaking stuff, like our crash outs, like people were going to stick beside, like, and not really be so much about basketball. But I think because we watch so much basketball and we go to so many basketball games, like we actually do talk about it a little bit more, but I think we're both like very honest about the fact that like, we don't
I'm just
know
a person
all that much
with
about
opinions.
It. Yeah. So if you disagree with us, or if we say stuff wrong, because like Leandre said, we watch these back and we're like, oh man,
that
we're
is
wrong a lot.
That is so wrong.
That is wrong. You know, so feel free to correct us. Just there's just no need to do it in a way that's like mean or rude. You know. and it is okay to disagree with people, you know, like I think that is like a lost art where we're in this society, and I think we're in the position a little bit that we are in because
We don't
there
talk
is
when we have differing opinions.
and talk and listen, right? Like, because I
Seek to
can't
understand.
correct, like, and I think that there is some, I'm not going to seek to understand with certain people in this world.
Yes. Yes.
Because there is no seeking to understand on the other side.
Hate. Yeah.
And it's hate. And that can't, I can't, you can't have a conversation with somebody who is filled with so much hatred in their heart. You know, but I do think that doesn't need to carry over in every single aspect of life. Like, it is just basketball, people. It is just basketball. And like, if you disagree that the refs were cheating, then cool. Tell me. You just don't have to be like, you know,
You don't
bad
know
word.
anything.
You don't know
Yeah.
anything. Like,
Yeah.
are we what? Like, why can't you just say like, oh man, like that's not the way that I saw it, you know? Like, and I think that's what's the lost art of being able to have a conversation
Respectfully
with people.
disagree.
Yeah.
I used
If
to
every world agreed, it would be a very boring world.
I used to tell my 7th graders to say, like, I respectfully disagree because, and then they would share their point. So if you need that sentence frame in your life while you're out here in these internet streets, feel free to use it.
Yeah, I respectfully disagree.
But yeah, we will see. We're going to still be on M and Sob watch. What would be their couple name? Emily and Sarah Ashlee. We have to think on that.
I feel like I'm just putting Sab and M together, like
Sabin.
Sabin. I don't know.
Sab.
Well, you know what we'll do when this is done? I will look
Yeah.
up to see if they already have one, and then
Yeah.
we'll start using it.
And if you have one that you would like us to use, if you've come up with something clever, you tell us in the chat.
Yeah, we're open.
We are
open
very
to
open.
interpretations.
We don't really have a Crash Out Chronicle this time.
No, I did say that. I was like, I don't know if I want to talk about the Fever and Mercury game because I think it's too fresh.
Oh, is that
and
what you were
people are gonna
talking about yesterday? I didn't know. So I'm in a group chat with Marina, who we've talked about before, and her husband, and we talk about basketball things. And they were talking about something, and I had no idea what was going on. And I was also
Well,
at
we
book
actually
club.
were talking about the Seattle game. They know better not to then bring that up because they're going to be on the Mercury side. I'm going to be on the Fever side, and then we're just going to be fighting.
I think it's so funny that, like, because I feel like the Mercury, certain players on the Mercury can also be a little polarizing. So I think it's so funny that you have a friend group where it's like you're a CC fan and they're like diehard AT fans.
Well, it is because, to what we just said, I feel like at the end of the day, my friendship with Marina and Berto and all them is way more important than
Then,
basketball.
yeah, it is not
And
contingent upon the
no.
players that you like.
No, and like it is okay to like certain players and not like other players, and like, you know, like I don't think anything personally about somebody just because they like one player that I don't like, you know? So it's like I think as long as you can have that mutual respect, like it's totally acceptable. But we didn't talk about it. It would have been really fresh. I wouldn't have said anything though. Crazy. But
I didn't know who
the
you guys were
Mercury's
talking
going
about.
through it. Yeah, but they were talking about this Seattle Wings game because the Seattle and the Wings game went into overtime. Natisha Heidemann played so well. And then, Dom Malonga, who, by the way, we found out was the second overall pick.
How could we have forgotten about Dom?
Honestly, I think
I think just because she sat down for a little bit.
She didn't play right away as well.
Yeah.
So that's
She
true.
was hurt a little bit, so.
Yeah, but I just don't ever think about Seattle.
But
Like,
I
they're
love
just
Dom.
not a team that I think
and I
about.
love fun.
I know.
We'll get to it at the end, but I'm excited about being able to see them.
I might not be able to go.
Oh no.
I told you that. You might get my ticket. So
Okay.
I'll probably know next week if
Okay.
I'm gonna be able to go or not. Because I might go I might be going to an Aces game with Marina. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. So but I'm not sure yet. It depends on I'll talk to you off camera. But anyways, that game was crazy though. So many crash outs. Like they were straight fighting. But I don't know. I don't really want to talk about it, but shout out to Crash Outs because you know when you were saying that you don't like when people go too far in the Crash Outs, it was one of those games where I was like, okay, maybe we're going a little too far today.
Because I think the problem is it's like people shouldn't be fighting. It's not a contact sport, and I think
Well, they weren't like physically fighting.
I know, but I
a
just think
lot of pointing.
if we're too pointing is aggressive, standing up is aggressive, getting in someone's face is aggressive. You just never know how somebody's going to react when they're in a certain situation, and they already have the emotions are high. So
yeah.
I don't want them to fight, but maybe you'll do the thing where you'll be like, I'll talk about it next time, and then you'll come with like 45 exhibits for us to see. But yeah, I think it's safe for us to move into the I'm gonna stick beside her. And I just want to say, like, no matter what happens with the Los Angeles Sparks, they will always be my team because they have really good people on the team. They're really genuine, no matter how the roster kind of changes up. Like, they're just good people, and I really appreciate them. Like, and I think it's hard because they could be a team that goes to playoffs. They could be a really great team. And I think a lot of times it's just like these little things that keep them, like who would have thunk that the Seattle Storm beat the Aces, and that's what knocked them out of the playoffs last year? Something like that, right? I know, but like it was like the Seattle Storm and the Sparks were kind of like head and head, and there was like a game that the Seattle Storm had against a team.
The Sparks out.
Yeah, like the Seattle Storm. I think it was against the Aces. It was like a team that you wouldn't think the Seattle Storm would beat, right? But the Seattle Storm beat the Aces, and as a result, they got another win over the Sparks, and they knocked the Sparks out of the playoffs, right? So it's like we were fighting until the end. We've started this year with a lot more healthy players. We are still kind of plagued with injuries, and the roster is weird and developmental. But, like, I don't know. I don't really know much about coaching to, like, judge people's coaching. Like, I clearly know the good coaches, the people that people talk about. But I, like, Lynn Roberts, like, cool, sure. She's a good coach to me. But one thing that I will say about her is, like, she's playing everybody that she has available to her. And I appreciate that. Not every other coach is using their development players. And the whole idea behind that program is that they get a little more experience playing at the level. And then maybe next year, they can be on an actual team. So I'm going to stick beside the Sparks. I was really hurt, but okay with it when my favorite players left, right? Like, I was a Rakia Jackson, Azare Stevens fan. So I was like, oh, it'll be interesting to see what it looks like this year, because I love KP, love Cam, but didn't really know much about the other people because they weren't on my team. And I think I had a kind of negative perception maybe of Ariel Atkins, and she seems lovely. So yeah, I'm going to stick beside the Sparks no matter what happens. Like, that's going to be my team. I'm going to stick beside them. I'm going to spend all of my check buying merch. And I'm really proud of them. And I hope that they can just keep this momentum going into the season.
Yeah, I agree. I really like the Sparks. I obviously, when the Fever are in town, I do cheer for the Fever over the Sparks. Just because
She's like, obviously.
Obviously.
Okay, girl.
What?
Yeah, obviously. I love the Sparks, but obviously when the Fever comes, like that.
Yeah, that's the only team. Well, it's because I talk about them more, right?
Oh, okay.
They're my favorite team. But Sparks are a very close second, and I agree with everything you said. I really like our team. I actually think that there's just, I feel like there's just one or two changes that they need to make, and once they make that, this team is going to be fantastic. And I don't necessarily know what those are. That's not my job as a fan to figure those out. I have my opinions, but what do I actually know? I don't know what goes on in that locker room or what goes on. We went to one practice, but and that's a practice, that's an open practice, so they're not practicing really, right?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, they are, but you know what I mean? Like,
It's different.
So, yeah, so I don't know what happens, and I'm not going to pretend to know what happens, right? But if you're signing another guard, then obviously you don't think that the guards that you have, your rookie guards, are ready yet. That does not mean that they don't have potential. That does not mean that they're not going to be great. That doesn't mean anything, but maybe they need to be developmental players, and then you need to bring in a couple more people. And I'm not saying that that person needs to be Kate, and I'm not saying that person needs to be Ziegler. I'm not saying that. I don't know what that is, but I don't know if the Kiana Williams signing was the piece that we needed necessarily, but at least it's showing that they're thinking about
The
roster construction, and they're considering like the same thing that we are, or at least I am, which is 1 to 2 changes and this team's going to be great. And I think, I love Erica Wheeler. I really am enjoying Ariel Atkins. I love Hamby and NECA, and obviously I'm obsessed with KP. I have her jersey, but I don't know. I'm also going to stick beside them. I think that they're going to be the dark horse, truly. Like, I think that they're going to come from behind. People aren't expecting them because it's going to click, and just 1 to 2 changes and that team's going to be great, I think. Yeah. Because you can't have one of the best, if not the best guard in basketball in KP, and one of the best bigs in NECA, and another big that is like crazy on defense with Cam when she comes back, and Hamby. Like, you can't have that much talent on a team and not be able to figure it out. But I guess maybe we should talk about the Chicago Sky and come back, because maybe that's a bold statement. They got so much talent on that team.
and when the Chicago Sky didn't send anybody to the Temple or Portland Fire, or want to take anybody, everybody thought they were crazy, and then they did what they did, and they got all the people that they got, and I was like, oh, okay, they were playing checkers, not chess, or chess, what is it? They were playing
chess,
not checkers. And then they're having their moment too. I think, I'm always gonna say, like, people need to be in the right situation, and people need to be valued and feel like they're a part of the team. And the thing that I'm looking forward to in basketball is just seeing, like, I am so excited to see the Storm. And, like, the way that I feel about the Seattle Storm this year is, like, leaps and bounds different about how I felt about them last year. Like, last year, like, that was the op. Like, when they came, I felt away. And this year, I'm like, I am so excited to see Natisha Heidemann play. Like, I am so excited to see Flage. I am so excited to see Dom. Awa fam, is she playing now? Like,
her and Dom play good together. Seattle is gonna be I think Justice from TikTok, I also follow her on social media, and I think she said something like, once the Seattle gets a stronger, like, guard situation, that team's going to be dangerous. And I agree. Like, they have another team that has a lot of the pieces.
They got the potential.
I think they just need one more, because I don't, T is good, and she's a very good, she's very good. I don't think she is ready to run an offense like that yet. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I feel differently.
That might have been very,
but I love T.
I love T too. I love T.
And I think what I love so much about the situation, because I follow her on Threads and stuff, is, people are giving her a lot of props on how well she is playing. And a lot of her responses are just like, people believe in me. I believe in my team. I love my team. I love that the coaches,
she had a very good game yesterday, so it's very bold of me to say that. But
yeah. So, I don't, Everybody needs to be in the place that they need to be. But I'm so excited to see them. I think July 6th.
Yeah.
Where Liz may not be there, so we'll see. I'll let you know.
I might be at an Aces game.
What are you looking forward to?
The Aces are playing the Fever, so that's why Marino's gonna bring me. And then we play the Fever on the 8th, so I might see them back to back. What am I wanting to see this week? I hope that the drama from the Mercury and Fever game does not carry over because they play a game again on Wednesday. So I hope
Back to back.
Yeah,
It was one of those situations,
I know, I don't love
Sandy,
it.
where this back to back is not doing well for people.
No, I do not understand. But anyways, I just hope that it doesn't carry over. I hope that, the world can move on and not create, that's asking way too much, too many crazy narratives. I just these are the times, that's the times when I do not enjoy basketball. And we'll see. So hopefully it's good.
Yeah.
And I'm also not in the basketball world looking forward to more World Cup games. The men play on Thursday. And just being off this week, because I am off this week.
Yeah. You lucky son of a gun. I'm working this week.
I know. But I have to actually work. This is, no one cares on the podcast. Because some people are being like, we need to meet with you for this, and this. And I'm like, I'm supposed to be off, but I have to do it.
They were told not to meet with you.
Well,
people
don't
tell
listen
on
too
them.
well. So it's fine. It's things that like only me or
have
Naima
to.
can
Yeah,
answer.
yeah.
I love, shout out Naima. If you're
Shout out to
listening.
Naima.
Hopefully she's not.
Like, why are you shouting me out on your podcast?
Yeah.
Shout out to the home office.
Shout out home office. They actually do listen.
We appreciate all of you. Thank you all for tuning in to our 5th episode of our podcast. I'm really proud of us for doing this.
Me too.
And it's really fun, and I hope we keep getting the enjoyment out of it, because I think we'll keep making them, and if not, we'll do something else.
Amen. That's what we've always said. Once this becomes not fun, we're going to stop. But
I just won't do it anymore, because this isn't
Yeah.
our real job.
Exactly. We are not, even though we make jokes about
Our
need to
payment.
meet the Connecticut Sun in order to get paid.
I know. Sanaya Rivers. I didn't bring
Naya
her up,
Rivers.
so.
We don't actually get any payment. So, yeah, I don't know how to do that. I might look into it to see, but then we'd have to pay
We'd
for
have
the
to pay
song.
for the song.
Oh,
That's
okay,
really
the
what
song.
it is. We're too cheap to pay for the song.
Yeah, no thank you. So, anyway. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye. Go Sparks.